Have the Isle of Man FA been a help or a hindrance, would you say, at this stage?
Oh, they've been brilliant. Since I started speaking to Frank and Lewis informally back in February, March time this year. They've been invited to all of our meetings, invited to all of our working groups. We've had good conversations with the board. I met them for two weeks ago and had a really good conversation with them, and they were very open and asked some really great questions. And as you would expect, looking to make sure the integrity of the Manx game is kept and it doesn't become damaged in any way by this project. And hopefully I think they were reassured that our intention is to add value to what's already there rather than knock down anything that is currently standing. And then last night I was invited and asked to speak to the council, which the vast majority of the clubs were there, and they asked some fantastic questions again, as you would expect, but were very open to the conversation. The feeling I had in the room was that there was a reasonable amount of support for what we were proposing and how we were trying to go about our business, and it's really now about those clubs and us sharing some of our plans in a little bit more detail over the next 6 to 8 weeks before the 8th of October, when, as it stands, the clubs will vote on whether they back FC Isle of Man's affiliation to the Isle of Man FA.
You're saying all the right things. It seems very, very positive at the moment, and everybody who knows you or plays football and knows you will know that you are very, very passionate about the sport itself, but passion itself won't get this idea off the ground.
Correct.
And as is so often the case when it comes to things like this, money is a massive factor. Yep. How much is this project, this club, how much is it going to cost?
That's a great question. Some of that will depend on how ambitious we are in the sense of how many competitions we enter. As people may well be aware, in order to go into an off-island league, we would have to fund all of the travel for all of the visiting teams that come to the Isle of Man, including cup competitions. So obviously our travel budget is doubled immediately. So we're looking somewhere between £200,000 and £300,000 a season in order to compete, which is not a small amount of money in anyone's book. Our aim is to operate at a surplus and have an agreed percentage of that surplus driven back into Manx football and Manx sport and Manx community through charitable donations. So the business model that we are working on is to generate a surplus over and above our operating expenses, and then that is used in order to ensure the club is sustainable, but more importantly that we give back to the Manx community in some important projects that sustains us as an island.
Manx Radio Sport.